It's 6:03, calling this meeting to order. We'll go ahead and get started with roll call. Ms. Ana Maria Perez.
Present.
Mr. Roel de Hoyos.
Present.
Myself. Mr. Jose Luis Ochoa.
Present.
Mr. Jerry Perez.
Here. Present.
Okay. So I do declare that we have a quorum. So at this time, we'll go ahead and stand for the invocation.
Heavenly Father, as we gather today to conduct matters of business for AGUA, may you give us your guidance, wisdom, and knowledge to make the best decisions for the ratepayers and employees. Lord, let this meeting be productive and let your peace surround us today. We ask these things in Jesus' name, amen.
At this time, we will pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public comments?
You'll want to note that Director Perez is present.
Yes, at 6.
Yes, at 6:05, Director Perez walked in. That can be documented, please.
Yes, Madam President, as far as public comments, we do have public comment. We have, of course, our Madam President, Dr. Adriana Villarreal, that would like to make a comment.
Good afternoon, everyone. Because of health reasons, and everybody's aware that I have relapsed with my cancer, I am going through a lot of treatments, and so I had written down everything I was going to say. Sorry. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and announce that because I have too many responsibilities at this time, I am stepping down as board president. However, because I owe it to my ratepayers and I owe it to all the ones that voted for me during the elections, I am going to go ahead and stay on board as a regular board member. But I am stepping down from those responsibilities as board president at this time. I would like to go ahead and thank all of the board members that are present here right now for the opportunity to have served the community as board president. And so again, thank you for your trust in me, and I am moving down to become just a regular board member at this time. And that's all I had to announce. Thank you so much. We will go ahead and continue with the regular agenda. The minutes, approval of minutes for the January 13th, 2025 AGUA board meeting.
So moved. Second.
Everyone in agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Everyone opposed? Motion carries. Approval of minutes for the February 18th, 2025 AGUA board meeting.
Second.
Everyone in agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Director,
For the minutes, you'll want
there
to
was
Director
Mendes.
Mendez just joined.
Mr. Mendez walked in at 6:07 p.m. That needs to be recorded. Thank you. General Manager's report. January financials.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, here with us we have Mr. Park Naik, finance consultant, that will summarize the January financials.
Good evening, Madam President, the board members. So we are going through a January financial. I want to highlight that this is our first month after the budget that we adopted in December. This is our first financials for the new fiscal year that started on January 1st, 2025. We have current asset, it's around 4.2 million. Our cash and cash equivalents is 1.3 million. Then we listed our restricted asset in a statement of net position, and as well our current liability that we are obligated to pay. And then if we come to the month of January statement of revenue, expense and change in net position, as you see that our budget, we are at 8% of our total revenue. So that means we are exactly meeting our forecasted budget in a first month. Our expense is going on hand in hand as well to 8%. And our meter water sales have a increase as compared to last year. So in a top right column, you can see an increase or decrease in a revenue and expense compared to last year. So this is our January financials on a fiscal year. So in nutshell, we are on track to the budget, at least, even though it's very early to forecast the whole year, but so far the first month is on the track to the budget that we adopted last month. If you have any questions, thank you.
Letter B, drought contingency plan. Mr. Salinas?
Yes, Madam President, under item 3B, drought contingency plan, attached, you will have as a handout, again, the report from the Amistad Reservoir and Falcon Dam Reservoir. At this time, Amistad Reservoir is at 26.1% full. A year from today, the reservoir was at 28.2, which has lowered 2%. As far as the Falcon Reservoir goes, as of today, we're at 15.9% full. And if you can see the data that I have, which is the historical data, a year from today was also at 15.9%, meaning that the overall average is at 21%. Just as a note, our stage 4 for our drought contingency plan is at 18%, so we're still up 3% on the Falcon and Amistad average reservoir levels before we move into a different stage.
What was the average again?
The average is 21%.
No, but for the both?
For both, the average together, yes. Falcon is at 15.9, Amistad at 26.1.
Thank you.
Letter C, public, does anyone else have any questions? Sorry, I'm moving along quite fast. Letter C, public-private partnership workshop.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, as you know, we had a committee meeting. We had two different submitters for our RFQ. We have Aqualia and 7Cs. The board or the committee elected to have a workshop during this month, and we're bringing, you have a calendar within the handout, so that we can select a date, so that we can have a workshop, and hopefully the full board can attend to see the presentations that were presented from the entities. So this is just to select a date. There's no action item for our workshop, and of course it will be open to the public.
Like on a Saturday or?
It can be on a Saturday, just to remind the board that next week it's our spring break week. I don't know if it'll be a good idea to have it during the week next week, or it can be on a Saturday morning as well.
Well, we're gonna do it St. Patrick's Day, yeah. So you're talking that the whole board will be there?
The whole board can attend.
Oh.
Can attend, yeah, it'll be a workshop.
We'll post a public notice.
Not like the committee meetings that we've been having.
Yeah, we'll post notice possible quorum, whole board can be there and ask
Okay.
questions and everything.
Length of the meeting?
And we'll also add on to that executive session to talk about some of the legal aspects as well.
Shouldn't be more than 2 hours.
Yeah.
So it'll be the same presentation that the committee went, right?
Yes.
It should be similar. There might be some changes.
So we'll get to decide on the date?
That's yes. Availability is generally just the reason we want to put this on is to see does the board generally have availability next week during spring break or that Saturday?
Early on in the week is good, because if anybody has travel plans,
Okay.
Monday sounds great.
Monday
Saturday.
at noon?
I can make whatever work.
Monday
On 17, what?
at 11.
10.
10.
12.
I can
11?
be here
Monday?
This upcoming Monday that's coming?
Yes.
for not, 12.
A week from today.
A week from today, yes.
Okay,
Which
so
is St. Patrick's Day, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it right.
it's not gonna be mandatory, right? Because I'm gonna be
No.
out of town at that time.
No.
Yeah, no, it's
Okay.
not.
So whoever,
So, I can do it, I mean, that's fine.
That's fine.
12 p.m.
So, okay,
12?
we'll schedule.
Or
For
I
lunch?
can be here a little later, 11:30.
Okay.
I would say 11:30.
Can you post it, can we post it 11 o'clock and then go from there?
That's fine.
Sure.
11?
Yep.
Monday, 11.
Okay.
okay.
And so both presentations will be there that day, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's, yes. You can have.
Okay. Okay, letter D, district operations update.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, just to let the board know that in reference to the previous district's operations update, the situation that we had on our reservoirs, as far as the river being low and irrigation district number 6 not being able to I guess to direct the water towards their pumps in order for us to receive the raw water into our reservoirs. That has been solved. Now we have sufficient water in the reservoirs, and we won't go into an emergency stage. Now the reservoirs are already full, and the irrigation district has done their due diligence, of course, excavating the entrance, the intake towards the pumps, and of course with the help of the county emergency team, which facilitated long reach excavators to take care of that.
Did we give them back their machines that they helped us with?
Yes. City of McAllen helped. Hidalgo County Drainage District number 1 assisted as well. The City of Mission assisted as well, and I believe it was United Irrigation District, I think, through an equipment that they had.
Okay, very good.
Mr. Salinas, I think we're gonna come up with a journal maintenance for those type of projects, just to avoid any.
Yes, that's something that the Irrigation District 16, Irrigation District 6 will be looking into having
Okay.
more proactive maintenance approach, especially on the intakes towards the pump intake.
Along those lines, we plan to do any debriefing with all those agencies that helped out in terms of making sure that doesn't occur, and any debriefing with,
I haven't spoken with the emergency management in reference to the intake yet, but I can set up a meeting.
yeah, just a debriefing in
Yes.
terms of that, because obviously it involves several agencies to make sure that they didn't get into an emergency situation, so,
I mean, to have just regular maintenance instead of waiting for a.
yeah, so debriefing, so,
That would be good.
and I guess we can send them a little thank you note for them. I mean, I think if anything,
Yes.
on behalf of AGUA, because it could have gotten into a very dire
Yeah, it could've been
situation.
bad.
Yes, no, definitely the reservoir levels here at our plant, specifically at this plant, at the Abram and 492 plant, were drastically low.
Yeah.
We were just probably a day or two to be in an emergency situation.
Yeah, wow. Well, good job. Keep it up.
Yes. So,
Okay, very good. Any more questions? Are we good? Okay, number 4, district engineers report.
yes, Madam President, members of the board, we have Sam's engineering that will summarize the district engineer's report.
Good afternoon, Madam President, members of the board. To go off, we'll go into item A, the Nat Bank Technical Assistance Agreement Sewer Hookup Project. So for this project, we're roughly 95% complete. We'll be probably scheduling a final walkthrough this month to hopefully be closing out for this month. So far, I think we've just had 2 issues that I think one has already been dealt with, the other I'll need to follow up on. But aside from that, everything's been going good. They finished their work on Acevedo Lane. If you look on your second page where I have the map, you can kind of see the yard line connections that they were working on. So they finished out Acevedo Lane this past month, and now they're going to be, this month they'll be focusing on finishing out 3rd Lane. Is there any questions?
No, other than 240-something hookups in Palmview that were needed. I'm gonna bring it up. The 246, how many are they? I don't know, I forgot the number.
These, I think, for this project, I think.
No, for the Palmview hookups, they're still needed.
Okay, no, yeah. Eso está bien faltan, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Letter B, SH 495 Veterans Boulevard, Utility Relocation and Adjustments Project.
Yes, so for this project, we had submitted 100% set for review to TxDOT and LNG for any final comments. We've submitted everything to TxDOT, so everything right at this point is out of our hands. We also included an AFA, which is part of the contractual agreement between AGUA and TxDOT to joint bid the construction, which is something we had talked about before. So at this point, we're at 100% set for review, and should we get comments back in a timely manner, we can finish out the 100% set this month.
So what's the timeline more or less where we at as far as they're gonna, I guess, seeing all the reviews, making sure that everything coming to
So
play, or?
Yeah, within the next 30 days, we should be able to get, any comment from TxDOT and from the design engineer LNG. And then at the same time, start getting the AFAs executed so that then they can proceed with their bidding schedule, which at this point we anticipate sometime in September, October, when they're thinking of bidding projects.
So that's when the sewer will start getting,
The sewer will start getting in place when TxDOT hires or lets the project.
all right.
Very good. Any other questions?
How long will the sewer take more or less?
I would say at least 6 months, 6 to 9 months. It's a very deep, difficult project, and we're dealing with the whole project that's underneath there too.
Yeah.
So at least 6 to 9 months.
So until that's finished, that's when TxDOT can continue with your,
Correct. They're probably gonna do the sewer line first. They're probably gonna do the storm sewer next, and then the water line, which is ours as well, and then they'll start working on the roadway.
all right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
thank you.
Thank you. Number 5, discussion and possible action on a non-standard service agreement for water to be submitted to Las Dianas Land Development LLC for the cost related to water and service for Eduardo's subdivision number 27.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board. Again, we have SAM's engineer and our district engineer, which will summarize the project and of course the service investigation report for the next following items.
So good afternoon. So for Eduardo's subdivision number 27, it is located in Missions ETJ. We're looking at 10 acres of property with 16 residential lots. They are proposing water and septic tank. We have provided all comments. If you look on the second page, I believe, there's a map to show you the approximate location of it. So it's off of Texan, about 250 feet north of mile 6. This subdivision has, we have run the water model, the water model has been ran, and it did pass with no issues.
And how many lots is?
This one was 16 residential lots.
Are we keeping track of how many where we're at?
How many?
Yes.
So I know we're gonna approve some, so by the end of this meeting, we'll have another number, right?
Yes, and large number of
What do we have right now,
Yes.
before the 16 available?
I'm sorry.
You know how many meters we have available?
900, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We
Okay.
should have
Plenty for today.
Okay.
All right.
For today, yes, for today.
I so move.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Jerry Perez and a second by Mr. Rick Perez. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Number 6, discussion and possible action on a non-standard service agreement for water to be submitted to Las Dianas Land Development LLC for the cost related to the water service for Eduardo's subdivision number 28. Is this a different one?
Yes.
That one was 27
Number,
and
oh,
28.
okay, 27 and 28, okay.
Yes, so good afternoon. So this property is it also located in City of Missions ETJ. It's 15 acres, 25 residential lots. There's the same situation of septic tank and water line. And this one, if you look at your aerial map, is about 450 feet north of mile 6 along Iowa.
So on this one, there's no water main running on Iowa, so they're gonna feed off the Tex.
They're bringing it up from mile, no.
It's right across on
From mile
on
6,
Texas.
yes. Yeah, they're bringing it up from mile 6. Yes, sir. That's part of the improvements that they're gonna be needing to get the water service.
But it's gonna be on their dime.
Yes, sir.
But they're doing the improvement, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So
Okay.
move.
Second.
Any other, oh, I was gonna ask if there was any other questions. No? We're good? Okay. We have a
That
motion
motion?
by Ms. Pettis and a second by Mr. Pettis. Mr. Did you make this motion? Okay. Everybody in agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion of, number 7, discussion and possible action on a non-standard service agreement for water to be submitted to 5L Development LTD for the cost related to water service for Las Comadres, number 14 subdivision.
Yes. So Las Comadres number 14 subdivision is located along Texan Road, about 1,400 feet south of Mile 7. For this subdivision, we're looking at City of Mission's ETJ, roughly 40 acres and 65 residential lots. Same situation of septic tank and water line. For this subdivision, they do meet, we have ran water model results, and they did pass without needing any improvements.
Okay, very good. Any questions?
So
Could I
move.
have a motion?
So move.
1 second.
Who made the motion? Okay, Ms. Perez made the motion, and who seconded? And Mr. Perez, Mr. Jerry Perez, I'm sorry. Mr. Jerry Perez with a second. Is everyone in agreement? Say yes, say aye. Everyone opposed? Motion carries.
Very good.
Number 8, discussion and possible action on a non-standard service agreement for water to be submitted to Real Solutions LP for the cost related to water service for Volcano Estates subdivision.
Yes, so Volcano State subdivision is located along Volcano Avenue. Pretty much they're looking at adding a water line. They're within City of Peñitas, roughly 25 acres, looking at 2 commercial lots, 51 residential lots. Water will be coming from us, and they'll be getting sewer service from the City of Peñitas. For this subdivision, they are going to be needing off-site improvements, extending a line from along Mile 3 from Texan all the way to Volcano Road. It's going to be a 12-inch line. There's an 8-inch on Texan, and there's an 8-inch over here in front of Volcano along Mile 3 that we're going to be needing them to connect with a 12-inch line.
So moved.
Who's making the improvements?
Improvements will be on developer.
The developer?
Yes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. De Hoyos and a second by Mr. Perez, Rick Perez. Everyone in agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 9, discussion and possible action on a non-standard service agreement for water to be submitted to Peña Chapa Development Incorporated for the cost related to water service for Era Monte Phase 2 subdivision.
Yes, so Erramonte Phase 2 subdivision is about 350 feet north of the intersection of Mile 4 and Circle 6th Street. This is located in the city of La Jolla. This is approximately 75.16 acres, and it will be 199 residential lots with water improvements and septic tank. For this subdivision, they are also going to be needing offsite improvements, which they will also need to do the connection I mentioned prior, which will be a 12-inch line from Texan to Volcano along 3 Mile. However, they will also need to add additional isolation valves along Tom Gill's water line to get the water pressure they need for the subdivision. Again, it will be at developer cost. That's what's needed with the subdivision. Is there any questions?
No cost to agua.
No cost at all.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. De Hoyos and a second by Ms. Perez. Everyone in agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 10, discussion and possible action on a non-standard service agreement for water to be submitted to 3F Branch LLC for the cost related to water service for Salida del Sol, number 8, PH1 subdivision.
Yes, Madam President, Salida del Sol, number 8, Phase 1, is approximately 600 feet north of Tom Gill Road along the north side of Rodriguez Street, which is a county road. So for La Salida del Sol, number 8, Phase 1, we're located in City of Peñitas, roughly 18 acres, comprised of 102 residential lots. Again, this would be water and septic tank for the last submittal that we have received. And they will also be required to do some off-site improvements, which in this case will be that same water line along 3 Mile, 12-inch water line connecting from Texan to Volcano. But they will also need to extend, there's an existing 8-inch line or 4-inch line that they can connect to. However, because of lack of pressure, we're requesting that they extend an 8-inch line for the entire frontage of their property, all the way passing Tom Gill to Liberty, to install a brand new 8-inch line feeding off of the line on Liberty. And those are the offset improvements needed for them to get their water pressure.
So move. Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Rick Perez and a second by Mr. Ochoa. Everyone in agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Number 11, discussion and possible action authorizing general manager to solicit competitive bids on the purchase of water treatment chemicals to include liquid aluminum sulfate blend and liquid ammonium sulfate.
Yes, Madam President, the contract with Chemtrade is coming up in a couple of months. We would like to solicit for bids for these two chemicals. The total amount that we spent, just to give a rough idea, last year in 2024 was $541,000, a combination of both chemicals. On alum, we spent $452,000. Ammonia, we spent $89,000 for these two chemicals. So we would like to solicit for bids. We do it yearly because of the pricing fluctuation that we had experienced a couple of years back. So we would like to continue and go ahead and advertise to solicit for bids for those two chemicals.
Do I have a motion?
So move. Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Rick Perez and a second by Mr. De Hoyos. Everyone in agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 12, discussion and possible action authorizing general manager to solicit competitive bids for the electrical repair and maintenance services.
Yes, Madam President, we would like, members of the board would like to solicit competitive bids, and basically is to pre-approve the electrical companies that do repairs on our booster stations, water plants, lift stations as well. We would like to solicit for competitive bids, meaning to have pricing per hour for a master electrician, an apprentice, and of course the materials they're going to be supplying. So with this, we will have them pre-approved, and then we can call them during emergencies, during the night, and also weekends, holidays, etc., so that we can have a rotation list for different electricians.
You have some already, don't you? Or you got-
We do work with some electricians, however, they haven't been streamlined go through the competitive process. Because of the emergency situations that we have, of course, we need electricians that are available
Sure.
at that time.
Okay,
Can
good.
I have 3 or 4, how many?
Whoever
Whoever
submits, yeah, we'll go through that as we did for the mechanics. I'm sorry, the mechanics. We have 3 different mechanics. We would like to have also 3, 4, maybe 5 different electricians that can do maintenance and also operate that know the work for lift stations, booster stations, water plants, sewer plants. That's what-
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Perez and a second by Mr. Rick Perez. All those in agreement say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion and possible action on the selection of energy provider for AGUA Sud.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, Mr. Parth is passing the matrix that we received from the vendors, and based on the committee's recommendation, we went and asked different vendors for 36 months and 60 months. As you know, right now our current electrical provider is Reliant, and the contract expires by the end of April. So these are some of the costs per kilowatt that we receive as of today. So all this rates were received today because of, again, the pricing fluctuation. They can only hold them for a couple of days, maybe 3 days at the most. But looking at the chart that we have here, reflecting all the rates, we can see that TXU Energy.
The TXC energy is the lowest rate, however, it's a rate that not a fixed rate. So what that means, that this rates even though guaranteed for 60 months, but it's not guaranteed because they have a right to change up to 25%. So they can increase it 25%, and it's just they're gonna send us a letter that they increase it, and it's gonna we have to accept it because that's how the contract designed. And the Reliant, which is the second lowest, was 7.73. That's the one is a fixed rate, which means all of other ones are the fixed rate though, which means they not change the rate up to the contract term. And this rate does not include the TDPS, the delivery charges, which is, as we spoke with the Reliant, that is not gonna charge by them, it's gonna charge by AEP. So, but they don't charge, their rate includes 7.73 per kilowatt, is include all charges that the energy company do. And the AEP charges and come on top of that, which usually that's the case. In AEP charge, roughly we are looking at 4 to 5 cent addition in per kilowatt based on what I checked, and that includes some local taxes and the AEP charges to the state that they charges for the delivery.
So basically the increase will be around 1.8 cents from the current.
Yes, the total, yes, approximately is gonna be 1.8, and we do budgeted 585,000 in the budget for this year for electricity. Are expecting a little increase because of the inflation.
Are you gonna review this contract, Mr. Salinas?
Yes, we can definitely, I mean, we'll try to negotiate, but basically the price that they gave you or give us, it's fixed and it can only last for 1 or 2 days. And as per a prior conversation with electrical providers, they don't think it's gonna go down in the next couple of weeks or 2. I know that we have about approximately 6 weeks before the current contract expires with Reliant. So we can, get with Reliant and maybe look for the best pricing possible per kilowatt. That's what we can do. But based on the, what is it, five energy providers, Reliant is the lowest as far as being a fixed rate, not a fluctuating rate. Some other companies have some.
Did the committee meet already? The committee on
Yes,
this?
yes, we did meet twice. So the direction was to get the quotes
Okay.
per kilowatt rate, the rates per kilowatt, and bring them to the board meeting. But I had to wait till today to get the rates because they fluctuate, they change. So based on the decision that we make tonight, either we go with Reliant right now, we can lock that rate. I can wait for tomorrow or the day after. It might go a little bit down or a little bit higher. I just don't know. But we can take that risk or either lock what we have right now.
You can,
What's our rate right now?
5.9.
Right now, 5.9.
The gentleman that presented the other day, is that the commercial side of it or what? Or
Yes, it is a.
the gentleman that presented the other day that they came over?
I don't recall the commercial, the 10 point.
No, but the gentleman that presented that company that, was it,
No.
consultants or what were they?
No. The committee elected to get the actual
Okay.
cost per
Direct
Okay.
provider.
direct cost.
I get you, all right. Well, there was,
Okay, well, I'll make a motion, Mr. Salinas, negotiate the best deal we can get, and, if you can get us down more than, I know the rates were 6.8 about a month ago,
Yes.
6.5.
And we were locked in it.
They were telling us that because of some kind of light freeze that happened last month, or light cold storm that happened, that where they had a little increase. And I checked with another websites, and it does little fluctuate because I guess it was little cold freeze, and I know something happened in 2021 where ERCOT had the issues, and that's why they were had slight change on the rate.
By when do we have to decide on,
We can decide to lock the rates. I would probably recommend to lock it as soon as possible because of the conversations that we had. It's probably not going to decrease. I can ask again.
You can
specifically
always
with
bring
the-
it down, not higher.
Maybe that can be part of the
Yeah.
contract,
Right.
adjourn, that we can lock the pricing, but if
It goes
like
lower.
within a year it goes down, we can,
Renegotiate.
yes, we can renegotiate.
but that's part of the contract, right? What did that say in the
That's
contract?
part of the benefit of a lock-in rate is for both both parties to have, but I mean, we can, if the board authorizes the general manager to enter it in at the best possible rate before,
April.
before the contract expires, you know, then
I think that was through
we
motion.
keep an eye on the predictive markets, and if the predictive markets suggest that the rate's only gonna go up, then we'll just lock it in.
There's a motion on the floor.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Second that.
2 seconds. Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Rick Perez, and we have a second by Ms. Ana Maria Perez. Everyone in agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 14, discussion and possible action to approve an interlocal agreement with the City of Peñitas for coordination of diamond infrastructure, expansion, and related water infrastructure.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, as you may recall, we had this agenda item at the prior board meeting. There was no action due to that the City of Peñitas had not commented back on the agreement, so we were not sure if they agree upon the terms that, of course, that AGUA Special Utility had. And just to go back, this is basically the development that it's just north of the expressway, east of Liberty Road, which now the new roadway or street will be called 23rd Street. So that's where all the development that the City of Peñitas is investing on as far as infrastructure, roadway, curb and girder, sanitary sewer, etc., so that they can bring development into their city. So part of this is for the city, the AGUA Special Utility District, to assure that the water will be provided to that development, and of course also that we can work with the developers. There's going to be several developers coming into those boxes, if we can call them that acreage. That we can assure them that there's going to be a reimbursement agreement because of the water line that they're going to be placing. So that's basically the summary of the agreement. I know that Darren has more details on that as far as the specific and what is it that we were going into agreement with them.
So essentially what it lays out is it's an agreement between AGUA Sud and the city. The city is going to enter into and wants to enter into a development agreement with several developers to develop the property for commercial purposes. The city has some funding for that. The city cannot use their monies for our infrastructure. And so, but it has, it will be doing the roads and other construction. And so what this agreement does is it allows them to move forward. It is the district saying, when these developers apply for service, as long as it meets the water model, which I believe they have been looking at that, but as long as it meets the water model, the district will approve those non-standard service agreements so that the city and the developers have the assurance that they can move forward on their development plan, and then they won't get, part of the way through a development plan and then not have water approved, right? And so it creates a surety. It's the district is saying we will approve that non-standard service agreement, but also require those developers to pay for the water infrastructure, but also agree to a reimbursement agreement. This infrastructure is not in our capital improvements plan, and so the only possible method would be through a reimbursement plan agreement for subsequent developers adjacent to that line to reimburse.
Who's gonna figure that out?
Capital costs.
Who's gonna figure that out, the amount of money they're gonna be paying?
They will do that. And that's a
Who's that?
calculation that's
Who's
done.
Peñitas?
Those two, I think it's two initially, potentially three.
Yes.
The developers, so on the reimbursement agreement, they'll agree to a reimbursement agreement in the non-standard service agreement. The actual dollar amount is you take the total construction cost of the line and then get that to a per linear foot footage, dollar amount, and then that is how you
But
judge the
whenever they come and
reimbursement.
get the water meter, or whenever they go get a permit, how are they gonna figure that out?
All the water meters and the impact fee and all that will be handled through the normal non-standard service. So they will apply, they'll submit, you know, their application for service with the district. It'll go through the SIR process and then come to the board through a non-standard service agreement for approval. But what this agreement does is that the district is agreeing with the city that when that application comes to the district, that the board will approve it.
But the city's gonna figure out the amount of money, is what I'm figuring. Who's gonna figure out how much?
That is gonna go through the development process, so basically the.
Us, we're gonna figure that out?
The developer.
Who will?
The developer will come into play, and they'll probably have to extend, let's say, a 12-inch water line for 2,000 feet. So they wanna secure that, pro rata share of that line, basically to the next developer that is going to affect that line. So they're gonna have to,
They're gonna get
connect
reimbursed
to
to
the
the
line.
other developers.
So basically, whoever comes first has to make the biggest investment to extend that line. After that, the other developers will have to pay a share of that extension of the line.
Of their pro
Of
rata.
their pro rata.
Yeah, their pro rata, you know, the amount of.
So that
adjacent-
basically the district, we're just facilitating the pro rata share so that the other developers
We're
or
like
the
saving
developer
meters
can
for
get
them,
reimbursement.
basically.
Right, yeah, we're saving the capacity.
And it's
in
not
meters for the
costing us money.
developments. And then, you know, we'll implement the reimbursement agreement. And so the per our rules, our reimbursement agreements for 10 years after a developer, you know, the developer fronts the cost of the construction of the line. And then for the next 10 years, if any other developers, you know, develop adjacent along that line, then dependent upon that
They pay their
linear
share to reimburse
frontage
that
of
first
the
person,
line
yeah.
is- Then they pay the district, and the district then reimburses the
Versus-
original developer that paid for the line, their capital costs.
So once that's done, the line belong to our sub.
I'm sorry.
Yes, the line
Once
is-
that done, once that is done, the infrastructure belongs to our sub now, right? Because we already,
Yes, belongs to
Yes,
us.
it'll be just like any other non-standard service
Yeah.
agreement.
The water line, yes.
Where there's infrastructure, it becomes the district's, yeah.
yeah.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Perez and a second,
5 minutes.
by Mr. Mendez. Everyone in agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 16, discussion and possible action to approve work authorization number 3. Sorry,
Sorry, Madam President.
I have to go back?
15.
Oh, I skipped 15. Okay. Discussion and possible action regarding renewal or extending SAM's Incorporated contract for engineering services for district engineer.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, so approximately about a year ago, the district entered into contract with SAM's Engineering for an amount of $3,500 per month for the district engineer services. At that time during the meeting, the board agreed that contract will be for a year, and coming back to renegotiate the contract to extend the actual contract for another year with a different amount, with an amended amount. Now, the amount that SAMS is proposing is $7,000 per month. Now, at that time, about a year ago, the board negotiated with SAMS and brought the cost lower on a per month basis for the services being required. And basically, mostly it's basically subdivision review, and of course, other supplemental projects that come into need of AGUA's assistance.
Move it to executive. You talk about it.
7,000, that's the rate, I mean,
That's the rate that was presented at the original, at the meeting that we had a year ago, yes, and it was lowered down to 3,500 during board open session.
Let's take it into executive session. We can discuss.
Is there a motion?
A motion to move item 15 into executive to discuss with board members.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Perez to move the item item number 15 into executive session, and a second by Mr. De Hoyos.
You don't wanna say anything before we take it to executive session? Too much, you got too much work, or what is it?
Yeah.
Again, thank you for the opportunity. It's been a year. It's been a real fast year. And from our standpoint, we're happy to continue serving the district. One of the discussions that we had a year ago was that opportunity in a year, after we did, 12 months of service, to go back to the original proposal, which was $7,000. So at this point, we're executing that, option and, trying to figure out if you guys are satisfied with the service. The only other thing I'll say is that, with these changes that we have been able to do over the last 12 months, we are getting some subdivisions going, and, it's part of our job, our responsibilities to review, each and every subdivision for approval. So again, it's an opportunity to work for the district, and we're very happy and content. We want to keep doing it, obviously. We're just going back to execute that option that we discussed at the beginning, when we proposed an initial fee of $7,000. We were here from 2009 to like 2013, when AGUA first came in, and I believe that the fee at that point was, about $5,000 a month. So, at this point, we're at $3,500, which is going to grow with the inflation like everybody else.
Sure. And that's the going rate, basically what I gather, right? That's
Yes,
the
sir.
going rate that everybody's charging, I guess.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What would be like the bottom number?
$69.99. Again, we're happy. We've done a lot of good work. I
No,
think
yeah,
that
just
the-
to
It's a
discuss, yeah.
secret.
Yeah, the district's, yeah, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Did I finalize that?
Yeah.
Did I finalize it? Okay. So we'll be taking item number 15 into executive session. Okay. Number 16, discussion and possible action to approve work authorization number 3 with SAMS Incorporated for alternative capacity requirement, ACR.
Yes, Madam President, this next agenda again is related to SAM's engineering, and it's for the project of us applying for an ACR. And basically what that might do, which is the alternative capacity requirement with TCEQ, it's increase our capacity in theory with TCEQ. So the cost that SAMS, and basically it's a 3-year worth of data that SAMS will need to populate and put into a form of an application. And the estimated cost amount for the services is of $24,000. You can see it on Exhibit E of the work authorization. So, as of today, we're at 0.49. As far as the alternate capacity ratio, we're looking at the way it's calculated. It's 705 gallons per day per connection. That's what we have. If that, in theory, goes lower, our capacity will increase, meaning more meters or LUE availability to the district.
So you wanna lower the ACRs?
Not that I want to lower, but we want to look into it and explore that option.
Yeah, we wanna be careful on that. We don't wanna lower it and not have the capacity.
Yeah, that's why, that's why you need engineers to do that.
Yeah, it really is just so that we know
How
what is,
our stretches.
based on our historical usage, what that looks like. Because right now, you can do back of the napkin, but it's not the same as having an engineer actually look at the numbers. So it hasn't been done since, I think, 15 years.
Wow.
But
And-
if you lower it, now we have 900 meters. If you lower, we're gonna have 3,000 meters. So it's not-
And basically, the ACR will go hand in hand with the CIP, the updating of the CIP that we already have a contract with SAMS.
So it hadn't been done for 15 years?
Yeah, the last time that it's been officially reviewed was 15 years ago.
Wow.
It depends on our capacity of the plant.
Wow,
Now,
that's a long
now
time.
there's a difference, this is for, and I guess, this is for the full scope. I would assume that if the board decides to not amend it could be a supplement on that to remove the cost of an actual application.
Yeah, so I mean, we're doing the calculations and we're putting the data together and, we can bring it back to the board to see if they want to accept it or not. And then apply a TCEQ. So if at that moment in time, I mean, we know the data, it didn't change much, or it did change because we don't know what it's gonna do, then we can look at it as a two-phase deal. And so the only other discussion I'll say, is that, I mean, we at the end of the day, need to grow the system and or grow the connection. So, we got water plant improvements, we got, other infrastructure needs that we have, and, so all these are short-term items that we can use in the meanwhile between now and getting a plant in line, to continue to grow the system. So, I mean, this might or might not be something that's gonna work, but, at least we know with the data what we can or can't do. And again, in 5 years, when we're ready to put a plant in service, then this small little things that we're doing along the way will help.
What's needed, that's truly needed.
Okay.
Is that an action item?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Perez and a second by Mr. Perez, Rick Perez. Everyone in agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 17, discussion and possible action. Am I on the right number now? Discussion and possible action to approve an agreement with SAMS Incorporated for Phase 2 of the Geographic Information System, GIS services.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board. Again, this is an agreement with SAMS. As you may recall, also, but a year ago, we entered into agreement with SAMS engineering for the GIS, and we call it Phase 1 because at that time we had to divide the project because of funding. Now, SAMS engineering is doing a part 2 of that same project that was originally presented to the board. We divide that project into 2 and possibly 3 once we get the new sanitary sewer online, so that they can perform those services, and we can have that available through Google Earth or through other methods as far as the line location, depths of sanitary sewer lines. Basically, mostly complete the project in Sullivan City, and of course move to Palmview so that we can have all that incorporated into the GIS as well.
So item 6,
Question.
okay, go ahead.
Now, the mapping service that they're gonna provide, like you said, for Google Earth, and are we the only ones that have access to it?
Right now, we do share that with developers as they come in. It's not open to the public.
Okay.
I know that some entities do have it open to the public, but that's something that we can discuss with the board as well if we want to have that open. And of course, there's going to have to be some type of.
It's almost like even doing a
acknowledgement that
subscription
it's
fee.
Yes, because not
We wanted to
for example, some of the data that we have, we might be calling an 8-inch line, but it might be out in the field a 6-inch line. So that's something that also SAMS is trying to verify, but it's not a 100% accurate information that we can propose and put it out to the public unless we have acknowledgement as far as that this will not, change the fact that if there's a different type of line or a different size of line, it's gonna
Yeah,
change.
I was just saying, because we incur the cost, and then if we,
Well, no, the subdivisions, the developers are paying for that, right?
For this?
Right now?
no, we pay
What's
this.
this, Schedule C, on the attachment C,
Attachment C.
acres fee, who's paying that fee?
This on the services for the
Huh?
GIS mapping. Yes.
So the way we're breaking down the GIS mapping, we're catching up subdivisions, so the tractor plans right now on GIS, so we're updating them from 2018 to 2024, correct? The last we have is till 2024, which means we're adding, but pretty much it's adding subdivisions to the GIS. Because right now there's just tracts of land, and now we're drawing out all the lines.
So we are paying this, on those subdivisions, the company?
Yes.
I was,
Those other subdivisions are getting updated.
right, but
Into
we
the
pay for
GIS.
this, for that.
Yes.
The
those
service,
six-
this
yes.
service we're paying for.
Yes, yes.
That's why I keep
50,000
saying,
coming
like,
out
it's-
of us.
Yes.
It's gonna benefit us because we know now everything, and we can see it on, easily
Yes.
pull it up on Google Earth, and I'm just saying, like, we're incurring the most of the expense.
Yes, and basically well, I haven't talked to Sam as well, but basically it's something that we can incorporate on the new subdivisions, the request for that data so that we can
Right.
supplement
Almost like
it
a
in the
subscription,
GIS
like
and.
you
yes.
want some insight,
Yeah.
this is,
We were just behind schedule, I mean, from 2018, 2016, that any new developments were not put into the
Right.
GIS system, so.
yeah. And
Phase
even I
one,
think the
phase two.
sewer, right, the sewer hadn't been
this what
Yeah,
updated.
so this is putting,
This is
you know, getting us
exhibit
caught
B.
up with all the infrastructure that was put in for the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
But we are correct, any new development that comes in, when we give them water, we can request that data, and one by one, be putting it into the system.
Right.
That way, we're not gonna get behind with it.
Yeah, right now, we're gonna be updated all the way to 2021 subdivisions, 2021, 2022, so we still have catching to do on the subdivisions.
Which is this one here.
That are not, in the
Because
GIS.
it had already been, I mean, you'd already done some updating,
Under-
correct?
Under phase one,
Uh-huh.
which was just finished a few months ago, we updated from 2018 to 2021,
Okay.
more or less.
So this is the second phase, adding more. And we're paying this fee,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, so attachment C is the subdivision fee breakdown of the 53,780 on attachment B.
This is where I said.
So-
So the subdivisions are paying for it?
No,
No.
No.
they're just breaking down.
Oh, the fee,
overall-
the
overall
fee
cost-
per,
yeah,
okay.
The overall cost
Okay.
estimate is
I got it.
67,000, and that's just their estimation of the
Got it.
time to do the GIS for those particular subdivisions.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Based on the size.
So item 16 and 17 contingency on item 15, right? Am I losing something here? I mean, I don't know.
There's some,
It's
some
it's
discussions that we
additional,
can
right?
have with the board at
Make
a
the check
later
bigger.
date, if the board wishes to make that information is public, but it is not online. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's where I said, like, we're doing them, like, I think it should be private for us until we come up with something that if somebody wants to use it, like, there's a fee to see that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, it can be just for view purposes, not making any changes. So it's
Right.
just for view, like
But even to view
if you
it's-
own a land and you wanna know if there's a water line in front of your
Exactly.
property, you go online and check your property.
Look at other utilities, they all have it online. The GIS is already online on most of the utilities,
Yeah, yeah.
other cities.
And we usually do provide that information, but once an interested owner comes into the office, and we you know, we're more than
This
happy
is
to-
specialized towards,
to-
for AGUA.
yeah, to share that information.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We need a motion Second. Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Rick Perez on number 17, and a second by Mr. Ochoa? And a second by Mr. Ochoa. Everyone in agreement, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Number 18, discussion and possible action to enable board president and/or general manager to execute resolution for the purchase of 200 acre-feet of Class A priority use from Hidalgo Irrigation District Number 16, and to direct AGUA Sud staff and consultants to work with the Hidalgo Irrigation District Number 16 staff and TCEQ on all administrative matters.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, Irrigation District 16 approach AGUA Special Utility District on the sale of 200 acre feet, Class A priority water, municipal water for the district. And as the board knows, the district has sufficient funding, and we have just a restricted funding, actually just to purchase water rights and the use for water right needs. We have that funding it's just allocated to water rights. So we have sufficient funding for that. The approximate cost, I don't have a final figure, but it's something that we have to, of course, negotiate with the irrigation district. Goes for around $3,200 per acre foot. So we're looking at 200, we're looking at around $640,000 to purchase that acreage footage as far as
Will we
water
sell
rights.
it to a developer?
Do we sell it to the developer? The developer pays a fee per LUE to the district.
So,
1175. So that funding, that money is restricted only for water rights.
so why they're selling? I mean, I'm just good that they're selling, but
They're selling, I know that we had purchased, correct me if I'm wrong, 500 acre feet from Rhodes Development about 3 years ago. Again, and using that funding. And it is, I believe it's good practice to have that on our bank,
Sure.
water rights, since that funding is strictly for that. We cannot use that funding for anything else.
And there's also statutory mechanisms. We've submitted, the board may recall, I want to say 2 years ago, I think 2 years ago, a water rights petition with HCID 16 and that the reason why the price per is negotiable is we have a good argument for a discounted rate for that as well, which we'll pursue.
so how much acreage of water does AGUA have at this point?
We have two different contracts, one with Irrigation District 16 and one with Irrigation District number 6. And basically, most of the water that we use, it's leased through them through contract, not owned by the district.
No acreage water then, this,
We do, I don't have that number, but we're looking into the 3,000 to 4,000
acreage water.
that we own, but there are some of
Sure.
them it's leased through contract.
And that money we have saved up, it's only for water rights.
It's only for water rights or the use for water right acquisition. For example, if I need a lease, at the end of the year, if I need to lease water rights, I can use that funding.
Can you buy them at a lower price than 3,100?
It's mostly a fixed rate, and I think it's not a fixed rate, but it's set by a committee at the state level. That's my understanding from the.
I remember there were 2,000, not too long ago.
There were 28, I do remember going from 2,400, 2,800, and now it's 3,200. I'm not sure if maybe Sam.
Even the acreage of water goes with.
Maybe Julio has heard of cheaper water rights, Class A municipal. They're all about
Everything's going up. But
I think they're on that range, 3,200, they are on that range, 3,200, 3,300 for
And when you say class A, I mean,
municipal, ready to use for water use. We don't have to go through that conversion factor, which usually, I believe it's 1.5 to 1, and it reduces the water rights to half of it. So if you purchase 500, it'll go down to, let's say, 250. That's about the conversion that they have. If you purchase ag water as water rights, you have to go through the conversion factor, and it's going to go on these ones are priority class A, which are municipal, ready to use 200 acres.
And water right funding is restricted for lease or purchase of water rights only.
Okay,
Roughly 1.2 million of it.
So moved.
so that's it. I second the motion to Ms.
To
Perez.
use, yeah, to use. I'm going to have to convert.
Okay, that's number 18, right?
Ms. Perez made a
Okay,
motion.
1.2.
Ms. Perez made a motion and seconded by Mr. Rick Perez. Everyone in agreement, say aye.
all right,
Opposed? The motion carries. Number 19, discussion and possible action authorizing general manager to apply for TWDB funding up to $250,000 for a brackish groundwater exploratory project for data collection and to execute all other necessary documents for the same.
Yes, Madam President, we have a handout for item 19. So basically, this is an invitation from the Texas Water Development Board that seeks collaboration with a stakeholder for development of a brackish groundwater well. So basically, this 250,000 or up to 250,000 basically is data collection that they are able to pay for as a grant to the entity. Basically, in return, of course, they would like to have that data collection because I believe what the state is doing right now is giving out these types of grants so that they can get more data collection on water wells throughout the state. It's something that doesn't necessarily mean that we're gonna obtain that grant, but I guess I'm asking for the board permission to apply, and hopefully we'll get part of the funding once we do an exploratory well. Basically, it's data collection.
Second.
Yeah, do we really need it, or even though we're gonna go to brackets, I mean, that's
You're-
like
we're
paying
gonna,
money.
we're gonna spend that money, regardless of the data collection.
But who's,
It's a grant, you don't
but
pay it back.
where the site, and if the company, if
That-
we're
that-
thinking of hiring a company to do brackets.
That'll come into play, the issues right now, the deadline is March 18th.
Yeah,
And we
but,
would like to apply and then put it into work.
But this is just preliminary to get that information. get
It's,
some-
it's a survey. Basically, we're applying and it's a survey that we're gonna
The more
submit.
that they, information they have, the more money they can
Yeah.
release.
who's gonna get that contract?
That contract,
Yeah.
that is, we don't know, Mr. Perez. We don't know if we're gonna get the.
We don't
the
even know
grant
if we're
money.
gonna get that.
The grant.
It's just to apply.
This is just to
It's
apply.
to apply. It's
This
a-
is just
it's a
for the
survey.
funding,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes, and we have to bring it back to the board.
I know they wanna throw money away, but if we got a company that's gonna do all the studies and everything, why would we wanna do that?
They'll give us a
Oh,
refund,
because
$250,000.
it's a supplement, we're gonna pay that money regardless. We're gonna, for data,
For
collection. So it's just a supplement for that. If it's gonna cost you 1.5 million, so it's $250,000 less.
And the state is pushing all this type of,
Yes.
of projects.
Yeah, no, and this is part of the Texas Desalination Association through the Water Development Board.
So we got a second, we got a motion by Ms. Pettis, and a second by me.
Okay. We have a motion by Ms. Perez and a second by Mr. De Hoyos. Everyone in agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion and possible action authorizing general manager to apply to the PUC for an amendment of the CCN to expand north to 14-mile line and west between FM 2221 to Pipeline Road, and to execute all other necessary documents for the same.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, so attached, there's a handout that was put in your packet, handout for item number 20. You can see the water CCN viewer, and what is highlighted in blue is the CCN for water jurisdiction of AGUA Special Utility District. So what the district would like to do, or what we would like to ask the board, to let us apply for the CCN north to the Sherland Water Supply boundary, which is close to 14-mile line, and complete the gap all the way to Sullivan City. So basically, it's to square off that blue highlighted section, is square off all the way to close to 14-mile line, and west to close to Pipeline Road, which is we're gonna enter into Starr County as well.
How much north?
Close to 14-mile line. Dude, that's the actual line. The line that you see on top, purple line, that's the actual CCN boundary for Sherland Water Supply. So we would like to apply for this segment and square it off from Pipeline north to 14-mile line.
It's a no man's land, right? Nobody has it, so.
No.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Perez and a second by Mr. De Hoyos. Everyone in agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 21, discussion and possible action to authorize general manager to execute engineering services agreement with DEC, Rio Grande Valley LLC, a Gannett Fleming company related to the analysis of feasibility planning, acquisition, and design of a North Water Treatment Plant, subject to available funding.
Madam President, members of the board, I would like to take this item into executive session for our attorneys.
Do I have a motion to take this item into executive session? Mr. Ochoa has made the motion. Do I have a second? Mr. Mendez, second the motion. Is everyone in agreement? Say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Number 22, because I did make the announcement, that has left a vacancy. And at this time, the restructuring of the board will go ahead and take place. So I can go ahead and get started with the nominations at this time. Yes, am I on the right track? Okay, I would like to nominate Mr. Jose Luis Ochoa for president of AGUA. Mr. Ochoa, do you accept the nomination?
I second.
Second nomination, okay. Everyone in agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Everyone opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Mr. President. Now with that, it has left the vice president position vacant at this time. So at this time, I want to go ahead and nominate Mr. De Hoyos for vice president. And do you accept the nomination, Mr. De Hoyos? Everyone in agreement? Oh, I'm sorry.
Seconded by,
Second? I have too many seconds. Second by Mr. Ochoa. Everyone in agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Everyone opposed? Motion carries. We have two brand new people
Congratulations.
in office. Thank you all. Congratulations. Congratulations. No, not at this time. No.
Okay, we do want to take a session here. Who's gonna take the executive session?
yeah, there's no swearing in for that.
Who's gonna take the executive session? Let's go.
Oh, you have to make that motion. Ándale, Mr. President.
Yeah,
Y ahí está bueno, está bueno.
Aquí, al cabo.
Okay.
As provided. You can start.
Okay, as provided by the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code Section 55.071-551.091, the Board of Directors may convene in a closed executive session to deliberate, discuss, or consult regarding matters listed below on proper motion and approval of any item set forth above under the Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with attorney.
So we
And
can
then-
move to second session.
Yeah, and so we were
He
taking
needs to do the,
A, system capacity, B,
you
City
gotta
of La
go.
Jolla
A,
application.
system capacity, B, City of La Jolla application for CCN, C, Code of Ethics and Conflict of Interest Policy, D, Senate Bill 1933.
And then also we've got
We
item
will also be taking items, which are the Jeremy?
15 and 21.
15 and 21 into executive. I need a motion.
I so move.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
So, motion by Mr. Cherry Pettis and second.
Oh, yeah, motion by Jared Pettis, second by
Seven sixteen, your next,
Yeah, 716.
executive session to, what's that? 7:16. All right, I'll get the hang of it, guys.
You're patient.
I feel like I was going to. Come on. You know how it is.